Okay. Hi, everyone. Um, just waiting for the edibles to kick in. How are you? Welcome to another podcast of Barrel Full of Daryl, which is me, where I discuss music, movies, and also throw in a little bit of mirth. And you may not, and you probably are not familiar with my selections, but they're personally significant to me, and I just want to share them with you. So thanks for listening. So here we go. For the music part, today I will discuss with you a longtime favorite of mine, Mr. Steve Earle. Steve was born in Virginia in 1955, and he is a country, rock, and folk singer-songwriter. Please tell me that you've heard his biggest hit song titled Copperhead Road. Huge hit for him. If you haven't heard it, then you're in for a treat because it's on the playlist along with a few other of his great songs. So, Daryl, what the hell is a singer songwriter, you might ask? Well, okay, I'll tell you. It's a musician who writes, composes, and performs their own music, especially songs that are personal to them. Singer-songwriters often provide the sole musical accompaniment to an entire song. Some examples are Hank Williams, Buddy Holly, Roy Orbison, Bob Dylan, Paul Simon, and Townes Van Zandt. Okay, back to Steve Earle. He learned to play the guitar at the ripe old age of 11 and entered a school contest. Seems to be a theme, doesn't it? School band contest. Well, Steve, turns out he was a rebellious kid and dropped out of school at the age of 16, and he moved to Houston with his 19-year-old cousin. It was there that he met his singer-songwriter hero, Townes Van Zandt. When he turned 19, he moved to Nashville, where he worked blue-collar jobs during the day and wrote and played music at night. He did get a job as a staff singer-songwriter at a publishing company, but he soon got tired of Nashville and returned to Texas, where he started a band called the Dukes. Well, for some reason, he decided to return to Nashville and once again became a songwriter. And many of the songs he wrote became hit records for other artists, including Johnny Lee and Carl Perkins. Eventually, Steve landed a 7-record deal with MCA Records, and in 1986 released his first album, Guitar Town. The title track was a hit and reached the top 10. In 1988, he released the album Copperhead Road, which was a blend of hard rock, traditional folk, and Irish influences. By the way, the Irish band The Pogues were guests on this album. Now, the title song is about a Vietnam veteran who returns after the war. His family's history involves making and running moonshine, but instead, the veteran grows and sells marijuana. This song tells a great story, definitely worth a listen, and it's fantastic. Now, he released a few more albums, but in 1991, his use of heroin caught up with him. He was arrested for possession and spent a year in prison. And he did not make any more music for the next 4 years. So after getting clean and getting his head straight, he released the album Train a Comin' in 1996, which was nominated for a Grammy. Now, this is an acoustic album containing songs that he had previously written, and it's my favorite album by him. His accompaniment are famous bluegrass and country musicians, and they are Peter Rowan, who played mandolin, guitar, and provided vocals, Norman Blake on Hawaiian guitar, dobro, and fiddle, Roy Husky Jr. on the acoustic bass, also known as an upright bass, and Emmylou Harris providing background vocals. It's these musicians who help to give the songs their distinct blend of bluegrass and country rock. Now, ironically, this album lost the Grammy to Emmylou Harris with her excellent album Wrecking Ball. Now, here's a little bit about Emmylou. She has a very distinct voice, which is mostly angelic, but also with a little bit of rasp. Her genres include country, Americana, folk, and country rock. She's released over 20 solo albums, but has also collaborated with numerous artists, including Linda Ronstadt, Mark Knopfler, Beck, Guy Clark, Sheryl Crow, and Johnny Cash, just to name a few. Oh, she also performed in the soundtrack for one of my favorite movies, Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? I think I need to add her to my list of artists to discuss with you. You'd enjoy it. So, getting back to Steve, my next favorite album by him is called The Mountain, which he recorded with the bluegrass band, the Del McCrory Band. Now, this is a fun album, and you can tell the guys just had a lot of fun recording it. It also has a tinge of the sound of Irish music in several songs, and I really like that. Now, many of his follow on albums get a bit political, but they are good. And during his career, he has released 20 studio albums and received 3 Grammy Awards, all for Best Contemporary Folk Album. He has been an important part of my life and the part of my life in which I listen to music, and I appreciate his existence. So give him a listen on the playlist, and if you like it, dig a little deeper. I'm betting you will really like it. And now a word from our sponsor.
Hey there! Are you having problems with constipation, otherwise known as hung chow? Are you unable to drop the kids off at the pool? Having trouble dropping a deuce? Can't drop a log? Can't take a dump? Well, my name is Dr. Pooh, and I have a remedy for you. You can get relief from my new product, Colon Blaster. It's available in 2 forms, pill and suppository, and is guaranteed to work in minutes. So stay close to a lavatory and wait for the lava to flow. Colon Blaster is available wherever you shop, so pick up a dose or 2 at your convenience. Thank you and happy dumping.
And we're back. The movie for the day. So there is an American filmmaker called M. Night Shyamalan, which is not his real name. I can't even begin to pronounce his given name, so we'll just go with M. Night. Now, if you've seen any of his movies, then you know that they have supernatural plots and or endings with big twist. His breakthrough film was The Sixth Sense, and man, was it a hit. Such a great story with one of the best twists I've ever seen. But today I will discuss with you his film, The Village, which was released in 2004, and it's one of my wife's favorites. The cast is amazing, including Joaquin Phoenix, Adrian Brody, Bryce Dallas Howard, William Hurt, Sigourney Weaver, and Brendan Gleeson. And it's basically a film about a small village of people who live in fear of creatures inhabiting the woods that surround them. By the way, as usual, my discussion will contain spoilers. So, the setting for the film is 19th century Pennsylvania in a small, secluded village. As I said before, the villagers live in fear of humanoid creatures that surround them in the woods. So they have constructed watchtowers and tall poles with lamps as perimeter protection. And they've also banned the color red as it attracts the creatures. By the way, the villagers, they pretty much all dress like Amish, just to give you a visual. But following the death of a young villager, the character Lucius, played by Joaquin, requests permission to travel through the woods to get medical supplies from outlying towns in case other villagers fall ill. His request is denied because the villagers proclaim the towns to be wicked, not to mention the creatures in the woods. But, Lucius being the person he is, he secretly enters the woods and returns to tell the elders that the woods are in fact safe. But soon after, skinned animal carcasses appear in the village, and the creatures enter the village at night and leave red paint markings on doors as a warning. Road. So Lucius happens to be in love with Ivy, a blind lady played by Bryce Dallas Howard, and they intend to marry. But there's this villager named Noah, played by Adrian Brody, who has a developmental disability. He is jealous and he stabs Lucius, sorry. The wound is serious, but Lucius is alive, and Noah gets locked up in a small building awaiting his fate. Ivy's father, Edward, played by William Hurt, unbeknownst to the other elders, sends his daughter Ivy into the woods to retrieve medicine at a nearby town for Lucius. But before she leaves, Edward tells her of his father's murder, and he also admits that the creatures in the woods are disguised elders to scare and deter the young villagers from leaving the village. During her trek through the woods, she is accompanied by two boys who do not know the secret about the creatures, and they soon get scared and they abandon her. At this point, I'll remind you that she is blind. She continues on and eventually is stalked by a creature that starts to attack her. And she tricks the creature and traps him down in a deep hole. And the creature is actually Noah, the guy that stabbed Lucius, wearing a creature costume that he found under the floorboards while being locked up. Subsequently, he dies at the bottom of the pit, and I'm not sure how he got out of being locked up. Eventually, Ivy comes upon a high fence and scales it. And on the other side, she encounters a park ranger who is shocked by her presence. Now, from Ivy's list, he gives her the medicines that she needs, and he does not mention her appearance to anyone, especially his boss. So here's the twist. Edward founded the village 20 years ago and recruited members of his grief counseling clinic to join him and isolate themselves from the violence of modern society. He used his dead father's wealth to fund the surrounding wildlife reserve and to pay the government to make the area a no-fly zone. He and all the other elders kept this secret from the youngsters, but they had secretly kept their own mementos of their previous lives, such as photos, family photos, and photos of them in the city, going to work, going shopping, whatever. Anywho, Ivy returns with the medicine, having never entered the modern world, and tells of the creatures she encountered and killed in the woods. Now, Noah's parents are aware that it was Noah and that he was killed, and Edward comforts them by saying that this event will enable the elders to continue living in the village away from society. So the village, it's a very good movie and really worth watching. I enjoyed it. But I'll tell you, in my opinion, the twist lacks the punch that lands in the movie The Sixth Sense. Word of the day: nerdle. Like noodle, but delete the two O's and add UR in the middle. Nerdle. This is what toothpaste manufacturers call the dab of toothpaste that sits on top of your toothbrush bristles. So now you can say hello to your nerdle. Joke of the day: what goes in hard and dry and comes out soft and wet? The answer is bubblegum. Yeah. What were you thinking, Kenzie and Dustin? Question of the day. First, we'll discuss the answer to the question from the last time we were together. What caused the formation of the Rocky Mountains and when did it occur? Well, in case you didn't know, the Rocky Mountains are a mountain range that extends from New Mexico to damn near Alaska. And most of the highest peaks are in Colorado, which I get to see every day. Thank you. Now, they started forming about 80 million years ago. Their forming ended about 55 million years ago, during what is known as the Laramide orogeny. Oh, by the way, there are no cell phones back when they were being formed. Orogeny is a mountain building process that takes place on the convergent margins of continents. The convergence may be by subduction, in which a continent rides forcefully over an oceanic plate, or it can be caused by continental collision. So basically, you have continents that are banging around and behaving rudely. So the Laramide orogeny occurred in western North America, giving rise to the Rockies. Believe me, there's a lot of science here that I have glossed over, so if you want to play junior geologist, please have at it. So the new question of the day: where will you find the smallest bone in the human body? That's got to be an easy one, right? So what is its name as well? Where is the smallest bone in the human body and what is it called? Now, don't forget about the playlist that I'm continuously building for you. Both Spotify and Apple Music playlist are there for your convenience. And you can contact me by clicking on the send me a text button in the episode or by email at bfodpodcast@gmail.com. Really would be good to hear from you. If I'm unknown to you, please send me a text and tell me who you are. It would be great. Anyway, thank you very much for listening. I really hope you enjoyed this episode and talk to you later. Bye.